online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I know, super creepy music for a super creepy episode.
Yes,
oh my
so
goodness. Hello, AfterBuzz fans. We're here for MTV's Eye Candy. I'm your host, Courtney Tezeno, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host. Introduce yourself.
My name is Brittany Baldassari. You guys can also find me on MTV's The Challenge.
Heck yeah, she's wild. Okay, so this episode is starting off the season 1, episode 1, K3U. I still don't know what that title's all about.
We don't know what that means.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but the episode itself was just, like we said, wild, creepy.
Mysterious. Maybe that's what the first title is supposed to be.
Maybe a little, okay, I like that.
Like a stalker.
Ugh. Okay, so let's go ahead and just introduce our main character, Victoria Justice. I mean, a lot of people tuning in don't really know what Eye Candy's all about other than the previews. Like, I think it's really current. There's a lot of, a lot of current things as far as the internet, but who is Victoria Justice outside of this?
Victoria Justice, which is pretty amazing. She started acting at the age of 10. She's from Florida. She's both an actress and a singer. She's very well known on Nickelodeon cartoons. She was in like Drake and Josh and a number of other cartoons and TV shows back in the day, and she is also a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
And she's here now doing this new MTV show called Eye Candy. And I'm looking forward to seeing her act her little heart out.
Yeah. Okay. It seems like she's going to be a really dynamic character. When you said Nickelodeon, and like that's really friendly.
Right.
Is this your first time seeing her in like a thriller type of scene?
This is actually my first time ever seeing her. I didn't see her in any of the Nickelodeon shows. So for me to hear, like you just mentioned, that she was on a Nickelodeon show and she's doing a TV show like this, it's pretty interesting.
So that's like career changing.
Yes.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Okay. Let's dive right in. So the first part of this episode is nuts. I mean, I thought it was going to have like a slow pace in the beginning, but like they dived right into this thing. So we see that that Lindy is Victoria Justice. Her
main
character's
character.
name. We see that she's with her sister, and typical sister relationship where, if you've lost a parent, the older sibling feels like they have to start parenting for you, or, over the younger sister. So we see that with Lindy in the beginning. She's
almost like the mom.
Yeah, she's acting like the mom. And so I was like, oh, okay, she's trying to take that role. And then we see in the very beginning that her sister is kidnapped at a drive-thru.
Abducted at a drive-thru.
Yeah.
Late at night, it's raining. They just set the whole tone for an abduction.
Yeah, and that's why this show is creepy as hell. Like,
right? When
does that happen? And then in the scene, we see that she can't get out the car. Like, she can't get out on the passenger side. She has to jump out of a window just to try to save her sister. And then we see in the episode that they flash forward 3 years, and her life is like completely different.
Completely transformed.
Yeah.
Actually, Victoria Justice, a.k.a. Lindy, she starts getting into computer hacking, and the reason for that is because her sister was abducted, so she wants to try to search the internet and find her sister's stalker or abductor. And
we see she started a group.
She started a group.
Yeah, and the name was, let me see, I wrote it down.
Written down.
Never Forgotten Group.
Never Forgotten.
So that's basically a dedication to her sister, Sarah, obviously. Okay, so we see the first part, she's trying to help a mother, it looks like.
Was it, I'm trying to figure out, was that, what's her name, Julia Becker's mother?
I think it was Julia Becker's mother.
I think it was her mother.
Yeah, and so we see in the first scene, like, they're obviously trying to find someone that we don't want to be forgotten the same way Sarah may have been forgotten.
Yes.
So there has, what they think has been like an abduction, she's missing, and I don't know how long they said the Julia Becker was missing. Do you remember?
I don't remember specifics. but it was probably a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope not 3 years. I think it was like
years.
maybe a few months.
Yeah.
So correct us if you're wrong. Comment in the below if you know the details.
Comment below.
Yeah, let us know. Okay, so we see that Julia Beckard has been abducted, and this mom has gone to Lindy, Victoria Justice, for help. Because she knows that she's apparently like the best in the game for finding missing people.
She can hack right in.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, let's pause. How is that a legitimate business? Like, you have Never Forgotten as a group, and are you a known hacker? Like, how do you put that online without getting caught by a police officer? Like, how does that work?
That I don't know how it works without her getting caught. And I think she actually does get caught by Ben, who's actually a character in this TV show. He's an NYPD police officer. He actually arrests her. Do you remember the scene where she's getting the ankle bracelet put on?
Yeah, she's off of parole after 6 months.
Yeah, because of hacking. So
Okay.
she does actually get caught. So I wonder if she does have a website or something.
Yeah, she has a website because obviously, Julia Becker's mom
Found her.
Exactly. I think that, she's a smart girl, but that wasn't a smart move.
Not a smart move.
To put that online, like with all the access we have, that's like the worst move if you're a hacker. Like, you're publicizing that. But anyways, we see that, or we hear kind of like the love story of Ben and Lindy. So they basically, I guess Ben kind of started the relationship off real shady. He
Really
was lying
shady.
to her, and then we find out he's a cop. Like, how would you feel if you found out your boyfriend was lying all this time and he's trying to catch you for a crime?
I think I would be really upset. You know what? You take me out to dinner, you wine and dine me, and then all of a sudden you just scoop me up and say, hey, I'm arresting you.
Yeah. Like,
would
you just
not
changed my
be
whole life and I'm
happy.
supposed to still love you?
Right?
What the heck? I thought that was super shady.
What would you do if your boyfriend did that to you?
Oh, he wouldn't be my boyfriend.
You would X him out?
Yeah, he'd have to be X'd out. Like, the beginning of a relationship is all about trust. Like, you messed that up when you arrest me or like call me in. You could have like pulled me aside, like, hey, by the way, I love you.
On the DL though,
yeah, like on the down low, I love you, but you need to stop your dirty ways. Like,
right?
Really?
And he didn't even do anything.
No, I guess it was. Yeah, he was maybe assigned that, so we'll give him a little. Yeah, we'll not be so hard on him.
We'll try not to be.
Right, we'll try not. But okay, so we get into the. We get into their love story, and then we get a little deeper into
Flirtual. You want to talk about that?
Please. Did it not remind you of Tinder for just a moment?
Okay, straight up, Flirtual is Tinder to the max.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? Like, I feel like all of the shows these days are really getting so modern. Like, they're putting all of the things that we do on internet on screen for us to see. It's like so weird.
It is really weird.
Yeah, I'm not used to that.
I'm not
at all.
used to seeing it. It's funny 'cause you see like Skype, the whole catfishing show, which is also on MTV, where they talk about internet catfishers. So
And
it's
Selfie,
interesting.
I was on Selfie. They did like everything on Selfie like was so relevant. I don't know. The internet age is scaring me. Oh my god.
Apparently, 'cause now we have stalkers.
Right. Okay.
So back to the Flirtual. I found it really interesting, that bar scene where she's out with her friends because Sofia says, hey, you know what? We need you to get over Ben. Mm-hmm. So they go out to a bar, and she's out there with Flirtual, and guys are just lining up to talk to her.
Okay.
One after the other. What did you think about that?
I thought that was weird. I mean, if I don't use Tinder, I've heard about it, but I think anybody that is using that
At the actual bar?
Yeah, at the bar can see you. Like, everyone's a serial killer in my head. Like, everyone is out to get you if that's the way that you're meeting people. I mean, I've heard of the love stories on the, all the some people meet or whatever. Black people meet. Let me just say that.
Plenty of fish.
Right. All those, people have these amazing love stories in the commercials, apparently. But I just can't imagine meeting someone at a bar and they just walk up to you. Like, that's creepy.
And they're like, hey, are you eye candy?
Yeah.
I could never do that. She was literally just standing there, one right after the other, like blind dates.
Yeah.
I could never do that.
I mean, so the traditional blind date was how do they do it back then? Like, you were set up by a friend?
Set by a friend or a coworker.
Okay.
And you go on one date, not one right after the other at an actual bar.
Yeah. Honestly, it seems a little sleazy. And then if the guy you were just on a date with is still in the bar and he sees you, like, how is that acceptable?
How is that even acceptable?
Yeah, like, you're just passing everybody around. How are you ever going to find love? Like,
You're not.
No, I don't think the app was set up to really find love, to be honest. It's called Flirtual. Come on.
It was like a hit it and quit it type of an app.
Yeah, especially for the bar scene. So when they're like trying to really get into her, what do you do and what are your aspirations? Like, really, let's just go home. That's pretty much what I was getting from that scene.
I feel like that's how Tinder is too. I know my guy friends at home, that's all they use Tinder for. So guys, I just threw out your secret. Don't hit up my guy friends.
Oh gosh, don't hit up any guys that use Tinder.
Don't.
Anyways. Okay, so we see the Flirtual dating app. And then we see that, was it in the very beginning that we see the Flirtual app go wrong with Peter?
With Peter, yes.
Yeah. So she had those 3 dates. I don't remember the other 2 guys' names, but we made Peter a relevant character.
Because he was killed by the stalker.
Exactly. And first of all, can we talk about this stalker? We don't know him. We only hear his voice in the episode. So
Which makes it uber creepy.
Yeah, so we first hear his voice when we are looking back on how Julia Beckert was killed, and he's like, his voice itself is like creepy. I don't ever want to see what he looks like. I really hope he's not attractive because that makes it worse.
I feel like he's like a creepy Christian Grey. I feel like he's a hot guy.
Oh,
if he's pulling all these good-looking girls, like, think about it. He went on a date with Victoria Justice. He went on a date with Julia Becker. He has to be good-looking.
Maybe. Okay, maybe
girls.
because Julia actually saw who he was.
Yes.
So she probably has good taste. Okay.
And same thing with Victoria, because Lindy went on a date with him also.
Yeah.
So they have to have good taste, and he has to be good looking. And he's looking for perfection. So he has to be a perfectionist, and he has to be good looking.
Okay. I mean,
or maybe not.
He might not be good looking. Sometimes when you're a perfectionist, you're looking for things you don't have.
That you don't have, that could be a good point.
Exactly. So I don't know if he's a looker. I don't even know if she's went on a date with him. Do you really feel like one of those 3 guys is the killer? Because it's not adding up to me for some reason.
It isn't adding up. But does he have her on the app? Because how does he know who she is?
I mean, he found all the, they said that there were like 3 people missing on the app. So he's probably just like scouting with an anonymous username or something. I don't know. Like, he's clearly a hacker, just like Victoria or Lindy.
Clearly, because he hacked her computer and was watching her through her own computer.
Yeah. She's crazy. Which I will say, I would never leave Ben's side. If you're like a police officer and you're willing to protect me, let's just stay home. I'm going to stop hacking. I will change my ways. There's no way that I will be caught if someone is like looking at me and I know they're looking at me. That would be creepy. How do you sleep at night?
I don't know. I think I would have a pit bull sleeping in my bed with me with a shotgun right beside my bed.
Oh my God. No. See, and I would be the worst. A shotgun by my bed and then I fall asleep and then he has my shotgun. That's what
you'd be thinking about?
Yeah, like I just wouldn't be able to sleep. But obviously Lindy is like, she's on a mission. And I think it's all coming from the death, or not even the death, the kidnapping of her sister.
Yeah. I think she's very brave though, because even though her sister got abducted, now her ex-boyfriend gets killed, which we're going to get to. But the fact that she is just so courageous and she wants to help other people, and she's putting her own life at risk, saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to keep going on these dates and trying to find the stalker myself.
Yeah, I mean,
she's like a badass.
She's super badass. Like, she's so fearless, and I think that energy is coming from her feeling like she hasn't fulfilled her mission for her sister.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of people do that because they still have something to live for. They haven't accomplished that one goal.
They have to fill that void.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think anyone else would just stop hacking after 6 months of parole and a sister being kidnapped, like, let me just hide away. I know I would. I don't think I could be that strong knowing someone's following me like that. So kudos to Lindy.
Kudos to her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyways, tell us what you think on YouTube. Comment below, subscribe, give us 5 stars if you love our first show. Please keep watching because I'm sure this is going to get much better. It's already amazing, like a super great thriller. But tell us what you think, like in the mind of a serial killer, like, does it even make sense to you guys that someone
doesn't make
do
sense?
This?
Or might be a little bit like CSI.
Yeah, really?
Kind of.
I can see bits and pieces. I think more of a modern day one.
Modern day CSI.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyways. Okay, so we touched a little bit on Peter, which is one of her dates from Flirtual. He dies. And this is the first time I believe she realizes that, he's really following her because I think what happened is she switched phones. Yeah, so she switches phones with one of her dates because apparently she tricked all of them and she hacked into their phones, and she ended up giving one of the dates her phone, and then that's how all of this more so crazy obsession happened. I think he said something like, Lindy, I thought we were exclusive. Yeah, like, you're real creepy now. Like, you're killing a date that could have just been like...
That's like the ultimate stage 5 clinger.
Yeah.
Like, you are the creepiest stage 5 clinger I've ever seen in my life.
But I just don't... Okay, so do you think the reason why he's able to respond while she's right there is because he can see her at all times? Like, where are the cameras? They're not all in the phones.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How is he seeing her? Where is he at? Is he up in like a creepy room with like a scope or binoculars? How is he watching her?
I don't think, because you're in so many different locations at one time, he's not moving from location to location. There's something on her, I think, that's like tracking her. And in this instance, she didn't even have her phone. So he can't be tracking her from solely her phone. So that's my question. Like, where are all the other resources to where he can see her?
That's a good question.
That scares me.
That is really scary.
Yeah, because, I mean, the phone makes sense. Someone hacked into your phone. They can see everything you're doing. They can see you. Computer makes sense. They can see you through the
webcam,
through the
or
webcam.
Whatever's happening.
Anything that is actually a camera makes sense to me, but everything else, like in thin air, you're just following me. That's weird.
Really weird. What I found even more weird and a little bit off topic is when he staged the cameras in her apartment to try to get Sofia, her best friend. They need to talk a little bit more about that and show more of that in the next episode.
I hope so.
Because I feel like he's going after her friends now, too, to try to get to her.
That was actually, I was going to save her for predictions.
That?
Yeah, I was going to save her for predictions, but I really think that he's going after all of her loved ones, and I think that's coming from the fact that he's so obsessed with her and so obsessed with perfection that anyone that will stand in the way of him being the one, the ideal, the person for her, he's going to kill them off. Because he took away, I think he's probably the person that took her sister away, now that I'm thinking about it as I'm speaking.
He could be, because she's the loved one.
Yeah. Because he kills Ben, as we'll get into later. He kills off Ben. He has, stalking her best friend, so he knows everyone close to her. So
you're thinking that he took the sister, but that was before she even got the Flirtual app.
And that's why I don't think he was a Flirtual date.
So he might not be a Flirtual date.
Yeah.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, I don't think
he
he's
might have been following her before.
I think so.
Wow. We're trying to crack the code right here.
It's happening all at once. Okay. Okay, so let's get into the killer's missions. He, or what do we want to call him? Let's give him like a cool nickname.
Yeah, he needs a cool nickname.
I don't know, Hacks. I'm going to call him Hacks. Okay, so we're going to call the killer Hacks. And
Killer Hacks.
So this like perfection obsessed guy, his I wouldn't say his first attempt at killing was Ben's setup. I honestly just can't remember. So let's talk about the serial killer.
Julia?
Yeah, the serial killer setup in Sofia's house.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, in Sofia's house, he sets up the cameras, which we don't know how he does.
We don't know how he does that.
Because there were 4 different angles in all the rooms. So are you like creeping into someone's house at night? At that point, it makes me feel like there's a bug. There's someone close to you that's actually this stalker, or there's an alliance of creeps.
Yeah, I feel like there's more than one, because how do you do all that yourself?
Yeah.
You need some type of a team.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah. So that's why it's not making sense to me. I think all these Flirtual guys were just people trying to have a good hookup, and they were in the wrong crossfires. They were messing with fire. So I don't think either, the other 2 that are left from the Flirtual date, I think that's a lost cause. I don't think any of them are the killer. I think it's someone closer to home. Maybe let's get into the backstory of her dad. We heard in the beginning that her dad
was kind of like a druggie.
Yeah, he's a druggie, and maybe because the mother passed, his wife passed, who knows? But maybe it's someone close to him. I don't think her dad will kill her or is obsessed with her, because that's so weird. That's so weird. I don't even want to think about that.
You don't even want to think about that?
That's disgusting. Incest is filth. Anyways, so I don't know. I just kind of want to dig deep. This show really makes you think.
It definitely does.
Yeah, I mean, because we know the power the internet has. Like, it gives us access to everything. I'm not much of a hacker at all. I don't know anything.
I don't know how to hack anything. I can barely turn a computer on.
Right, exactly. Like, social media is probably the only thing that I'm starting to master.
Right.
But other than that, I'm like, internet has power, but I don't think that much power. So that's why I want to figure out his whole setup, the serial killer setup, where he does a recording of him being in Sophie's house. What doesn't make sense to me is, how did she not know that he was there? So,
well, she was saying that she actually, Sofia owns her own club. That's her day job, night job.
Yeah.
And I remember her saying, hey, I'm not at the apartment, I'm at the club. So maybe he did that while she was at work. So if he's a stalker, he's probably figuring out what time they're at work, what time they're at school, what time they're hooking up with their boyfriends.
True.
All that crazy stuff.
Very true. And he's probably a good editor, too.
Yes.
Because if she was at the club, okay, it's two things that could have happened. He was in the house when Sofia was in the house, and she just never saw him, and, you know, he got the footage and showed her. Or he's an amazing editor, and he split the different scenes, her being at the house, her being at the house, and then him being at the house, and put it together in one recording. That's some creepy stuff.
I think that might have been what he did, because to me it didn't seem like she knew that he was in the house.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, he did one scene of him in the house, filmed her really quick, and then cut it together to make it look like he was chasing her.
Yeah.
Just put the fear in Lindy's eyes.
Oh my gosh.
She's a creep.
She's a creep. Psychopath to the T.
Yeah.
I just want to know his motive. Like, who hurt you to make you a psychopath? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because it didn't start with eye candy or Lindy. It started with somebody breaking your poor heart, and now you're searching for the ideal, the one, perfection. Who was the one that started all this crap? That's what I want to know.
Who was the girl that messed you up?
Yeah.
That's messing up everybody else's lives.
Oh my gosh, because I thought it was the weirdest thing in that scene with Julia when he found her teeth being crooked.
Yeah.
A huge thing. I'm like, whoa. Humans are very
perfect.
imperfect. Come on now. Like, we all have flaws. We got a little acne. We got a little, you know, teeth aren't straight.
We got some scars, some bumps, some bruises.
Exactly. So I just want to know where he started becoming that psychopath, because it all starts somewhere. But I'm sure they'll get into that later in the season. We're kind of like jumping ahead on the first episode. I'm sorry, guys. I just really love this show so far.
We're digging in deep.
Yeah, I really love it. I hope you guys tune in. Like, we are hoping to have one of the actors on. Just quick plug for that. But yes, please tune in for more. Okay, so we were talking about the setup. So maybe it was edited together. And then while Sophie's at the club, he edited his scene. What did you think about the way he killed Ben?
Oh my God. I think, for one, I don't really agree with episode one of the main characters even being killed. What do you think about that?
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either.
I was thinking that when the recording went off, after she said that she loved him, that he was still somewhere kidnapped. Yeah.
And that we were going to find him in episode 3.
Yeah. And it's not like, I mean, they're not going to do like the afterlife. They're not going to show us that. So he's just gone.
He's just gone, yeah. I don't understand why a main love interest, somebody like Ben, first episode, is just dead. To me, I don't agree with that. But back to the first question you asked me, what do I think about him dying that way?
Yeah.
I think it was really intense and gory.
Ugh. All of the deaths have been gory.
Really gory.
Julia's was so horrible to me. Like,
underneath the bridge, right?
That's where her body, yeah. That is a horrible way to go. Like, the fact that he's slitting throats.
Stabbed her to death.
And my thing is, you're slitting throats and you're doing all this gory stuff, as you said, but the problem was her teeth. You could have pulled her teeth. We could have done a Scandal scene where we're like, Huck, pulling teeth out. That would have been better.
And gave her a new grill.
Yeah, just give her a new grill. Focus on whatever the perfection, you know, the areas of perfection needs to be worked on. But killing her, like, there were good parts of her. Oh, God. I still can't get over that. So my fear is that if this guy is someone who obviously is not a flirtual date, and he's someone that's been following her for years, my fear is that her sister is not still there. And I think we might go ahead and jump into predictions, because I'm saying a lot of predictions.
Predictions?
No, let's not jump too soon.
And now,
well, maybe we will.
your AFTERBUZZ TV
predictions.
Whoop.
We definitely need to get some castmates on her, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah, so we can see some of the behind the scenes.
Actually, do you want to talk about this quote really quick before we get into predictions?
Go ahead.
All right, so one of the quotes before we get into predictions, just because I thought it was so interesting, during one of the scenes, I believe it was Ben, said, "Technology isn't bringing people together, it's making us disposable." What do you think about that?
I think it's so accurate.
So accurate.
So accurate. I mean, I know in one of the scenes, the really... I don't know what he did as a career. He was very put together, though. One of her dates, was he? I don't know. But he might have been an accountant or something like that. He really brought to my attention the same thing that we deal with every day. People have a problem communicating in person, making eye contact. Everyone's so stuck on their phones and their social media and their social media personalities. We're not in tune with
actual people standing right in front of you every day.
And that's what I think they mean by disposable. You know, we're just not in tune with, you know,
real life.
Yeah, with real life. Everything is this cyber world. There's no reality.
There's no reality. And I also believe that he's talking about, for example, with Tinder or Instagram. You could be dating a girl in real life. The second you find something imperfect about her, like this guy, the stalker guy in Eye Candy, it's just on to the next one. There's a hot chick in Tinder. All right, it's not working out on this date. Flip to the next. All right. you suck in bed? All right, cool. There's another girl on Instagram. So I think that's what he means by disposable, too, is that we can just whip through people because there's so many options out there.
That's true.
There are so many options through Facebook, social media, any type of online dating app.
So do you think that it's harder now to find
Actual
this stalker commitment, the one, the ideal?
Yes.
Is there, I mean, to be honest, did our parents, you know, the ones that are married or have been married, did they actually find the one? Like, that phrase has always kind of been, I don't know. I don't want to say that I don't believe in the one, because I absolutely do.
I do. Where is
he?
Yeah,
I absolutely believe in the one, but I feel like it's been it's a type of fantasy way of thinking about things. Like, there's one person in this world that matches you perfectly. I don't think perfection is here. Like, no one is perfect. So your ideal is someone that you feel is compatible with you. I don't think that he's supposed to be, you know, not flawed. And I think that's with the new internet age, I think a lot of people are thinking that perfection is it, and it's not. So I don't know. I think that's why a lot of people are not happy as they not as happy as they used to be. They're stuck in, like we said, no one communicates with one another. We don't know how to interact. Like, we don't live in the moment anymore.
Not at all.
And shows like Eye Candy are bringing that to life. Like,
I like that. This is going to be a good show. I'm actually going to be watching it. Thank God.
Well, yeah, we're going to be watching it. Yeah, we need you to watch it, though.
We need you guys to watch Eye Candy because it's real life.
It's real life. MTV, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Putting this into perspective in a psychotic way is even cooler. Like, I know I was doing a lot of ooh.
You were?
Yeah, I was freaked out because I don't like scary movies. I don't like anything gory. But I think that they're really teaching us some lessons that this, like, the way that the internet is toxic. And I think that's what Eye Candy's bringing to life, that there is no perfection, that if you strive for perfection, that's fine, but trying to be perfect is toxic. And that's what our world does. And that's what the cyber world has been, doing to our generation, or our world now.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And just like that statement.
That was powerful.
I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to teach us that social media can only take you so far, and yes, it's fun, but also live your real life and in reality.
In the
not some
moment.
fake world.
Yeah.
Don't be living behind filters and screens in a computer. And going back to, like, bullying, people that bully each other on their photos, like, don't do any of that. Don't do it.
Yeah. It's toxic. It's terrible.
Toxic.
I mean, okay, so let's get into predictions.
Okay.
I feel like this whole season we're going to be trying to get into the mind of this serial killer. So my idea is that he's heartbroken. He found someone he thought was perfect. They weren't perfect, and now he's seeking perfection, the ideal, the one. So, I mean, my prediction from the previews is that we're going to see some more gory events.
Definitely.
I think we're going to get to close to death scenes with Lindy, because the fact that they are not scared to kill off Ben, who was a main character, I don't think that they're going to be scared to almost kill Lindy for some reason. Do you get that or no?
I get that too. I feel like they might actually take her hostage at some point and try to get information out of her, try to scare her. And that's good both for the viewer and for us to be thinking about it.
Yeah.
Getting into the mind of the serial killer, so I'm looking forward to it.
You know, my fear is when they do things like this, it exposes things, but it also gives people really bad ideas. Please, from Eye Candy, do not get an idea to start being a serial killer, because
Don't become a serial killer.
Just don't do it. Psychopaths aren't hot. You'll never find the one. Just stop it. Anyway, I mean, that's obvious, but... what was I going to say? I'm, like, so thrown off with the serial killer
so
stuff.
Funny.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, predictions. So
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, my prediction is basically that the serial killer is going to scare her to the point of death. I don't know who could be next other than her best friend. Because,
Sofia?
Yeah, Sofia. I think Sofia may be next in line, like, as far as his plot, or maybe another Tinder date. Who knows? What do you think?
I think he is going to go after more Tinder dates, especially if she starts dating again. He's going to definitely go after the dates, for sure. But now I'm wondering, it's a new TV series. They already killed off a main character. Are they going to be bringing in new characters right away? Because who's going to fill that hole now? Because right now, the only main characters they had Lindy, they had the guy that works in the office. What are their names? I have them written down. Connor, which is her friend, and then George.
Okay, so and then they have the detective. Wasn't it the detective from the club that came to get her off the roof? Because remember, Ben called for backup. I think his friend.
Was that Connor or no?
I don't know if it was Connor. No, Connor was the one that was in the bar. Or it's the first episode.
First episode, we're trying to figure out the characters too.
Sorry about
with
that.
you guys.
Okay, so was the detective Connor the person that was working working in NYPD with them? I didn't think that was them. I think Connor was the best friend of Sophie that didn't get along with her.
Yeah, you're right. Connor is actually just a gossip site blogger, so he has nothing to do with NYPD.
Okay, so the detective is what I heard them say. I didn't remember his actual name. The detective, I believe, is going to have to kind of fill the shoes of Ben because he still has an inside scoop on like how the NYPD works. He knows the case. So I think that, I don't think a love interest will come out of it. I think it'll be like a mutual, we want to figure out who this person is to stop them. And, you know, for the safety of everyone, because there's thousands of people that are on this Flirtual app. So I think we'll see more of a relationship between the detective and Lindy.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I hope so.
Hopefully
there's this guy.
As bad as it sounds, I mean, hopefully there's some more killing in there because it draws in the attention and the goriness. I like the crazy killing.
I don't want any more killing for another 3 episodes, please. I mean, it may be innocent bystander, like hit by a car. That's all I can take because this first episode was just too much. Like everyone's so close to home. My other prediction is that I believe that the killer has killed off Ben to kind of make Lindy feel like how he's feeling. I kind of got that. Like, maybe there's something that happens to the killer and he's trying to make her feel what he felt. So I think that may be one reason why they killed him off, just so we can see a more dynamic character from Lindy.
The serial killer almost kind of reminds me of, who's that serial killer? Was it Ted Bundy back in the day?
I heard of it, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch scary movies. I'm sorry.
Ted Bundy, I believe that's his name, because I actually went to school for criminal justice, but it was like years ago. College.
Look at you.
I know, my degree's in criminology. But yeah, Ted Bundy, he had girlfriends, and one of them actually broke his heart, and he started killing off girls that reminded him of his ex. Literally, that's what he did. His thing was, I'm going to kill girls that remind me of my ex because she broke my heart. He ended up getting the death penalty by, was that the electric chair?
Oh, no. Yeah. Steven, have you heard of this?
Have you heard of Ted Bundy?
Ted Bundy? Oh, okay. All right. He's like, yeah, you heard of it.
This is a true story. Yeah, he was like pretty psychotic.
It's Nando, not Steve. But yeah.
Sorry.
No, I have heard of him. I'm not as familiar with the story as you guys, as you seem to, Brittany. So.
Oh goodness.
I'm the crazy one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay away from it. This will be the craziest it gets for me. Anyways.
But yeah, it kind of, the point that I'm getting at is this story, or the serial killer in this TV series, kind of reminds me of Ted Bundy a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see it. I don't know if they all look alike, but like we said, he's looking for perfection. I don't know what that looks like.
If you want to know what he looks like.
Who he's emulating this, off of. Who's perfect to you? Like, I don't know. You'll never find the perfect person. You're just killing people. Anyways, any more predictions for next week based off the previews?
I don't know. I think we pretty much covered it all.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to it. It seems like it's going to be a great TV series.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
Eye candy.
Eye candy. Tune in, guys. Okay, so please tweet us. Where can they find you, Brittany?
You can find me at Brittany_Baldy on Twitter, and I also have a Facebook and Instagram, Brittany Baldy. Don't stalk me like the TV show. Don't come after me. Don't kill me. You can also find me on MTV's The Challenge, Tuesday nights at 11 p.m.
Tune in, she's wild. And you guys can find me at Tezeno's on Twitter and Instagram. For Eye Candy, what we're going to do is we're going to start a hashtag MTV Eye Candy. Tweet us all your questions. Let us know what you thought was the goriest scenes.
Guys, this is your producer.
For next week.
Actually, there is a hashtag already for you guys. It's ABTV Eye Candy.
Well, you heard it.
And those of you who are watching on video can see it on the lower third.
Oh, yay! So
Nice.
Don't listen to anything I just said. Listen to what he said. Tweet us under that hashtag. We'll get it together next week. It's our first one. But yes, let us know what you thought of the first episode and comment below. We'll see you guys next week. Woo! Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.